Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter review using technical analysis. Okay, for today, the flow will be same as per usual. First, I'll go through the economic calendar, then followed by the indices and commodities, followed by some of the sectors like the FAANGM, financials, US banks, semicons, and EV sector. Then last but not least will be the counters that you have dropped in the Q&A chat. Yeah, and for the Q&A, I will go through the US counters first, and if time permits, then I'll go through the Singapore and Hong Kong ones. If you have any questions about them also. So without further ado, I'll begin. First up, economic calendar wise, this week quite a lot of events going on. Currently, FOMC member Porsche is speaking. We also have the S&P Global Manufacturing as well as Services PMI that's coming at 9:45 p.m. later. And we also have some more Fed speaks throughout the whole week as well. And tomorrow we have conference about consumer confidence at 10 p.m. Wednesday there's building permits, new home sales data at 10 p.m. The usual core inventories at 10:30 p.m. Okay, then on going to Thursday, jobless claims data, GDP, as well as jobless claims, GDP, as well as durable goods orders at 8:30 p.m. Okay, then afterwards, some more Fed members speaking. Powell will be speaking 9:20 p.m. So that's quite important as well. Afterwards, Friday, there's some more Fed speaks going on. PCE data, that's important at 8:30 p.m. Afterwards, there's also the Michigan consumer inflation expectations at 10 p.m. Also quite an eventful week for the economic calendar. Then next up I'll talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin I think is still showing a good strength over here. So since last week there was this retest over here of this breakout level at 58 around the 58K level. Held as a support and managed to break this high at 60.6K as well. So with that, price continue to go higher. Currently doing a bit of a sideways consolidation near this previous this previous swing high resistance close to 65,000. So I think for now, we could see some near-term resistance from this swing high, as well as from the main downwards channel is trading in is also there could be some resistance as well over here around close to the 66,000 level. Yeah, so near-term wise, I think we could see some view sideways consolidation and some resistance ahead. But I would still think that Bitcoin should be able to form a higher, still continue this short-term bullish trend, to form a bit of a higher low in the progress, with support around the 60.4 to about this 62.5 area. Yeah. Then next one I'll talk about is Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, last week, managed to break out over here to form new all-time high over here above this resistance 41.5K level. So I think with that still bullish for now. Next resistance possibly at around currently there's some resistance around 42.2K. Afterwards I think next resistance level possibly at 42.5K. So for Dow Jones, I think still moving well. Yeah, in terms of looking at the price chart. Next one is Nasdaq. Nasdaq is slightly weaker out of the three indices. So Nasdaq, last Thursday, there was this gap up over here that we tested this swing high around close to 18K. Still a bit of resistance over there. So I think we could still see some a bit of a consolidation, but near term wise, this bull is still a bit more towards the bullish trend. Price is forming a higher low support over here recently. So I think we should still get some support if it does retest this resistance at previous resistance at 17.7K. Now then if you can break above this 18K level, price will move higher to test next resistance closer to 18.3K to 18.4K area to possibly fill this price gap previously July. So that's for Nasdaq. Next one is S&P 500. So S&P is strong as well. Last Thursday, we saw this new all-time high closing above the previous resistance of 5,670. and then did a bit of retest on Friday and continue to have this lower week as well. So some support coming in. I think as long as price holds above this 5,650 to 5,670 area, I think it's still more towards the bullish side. Then we could be seeing higher highs again. Next resistance after 5,730 is about, I think, possibly 5,800 for S&P. Okay, then next one is on gold. Okay, for gold, I think it's still very strong. We're still seeing new all-time highs today. So I think possibly trading in this blue color uptrend channel over here. So maybe there could be a bit of a short-term resistance soon, closer to about 2640 to about 2660 area over here. Then we could see a little bit of a pullback, but the bullish trend remains intact. Short-term support-wise would be this recent breakout level, around 2580 to about 2600, this area over here. So that's for gold. Next one is on oil. For WTI, I think a bit of a rebound recently, but I will expect it to face some resistance going ahead. From this 72.5 previous support breakdown was a key support previously that is expected to be a resistance now. I think price is sort of just doing a bit of a sideways consolidation here. So if it does retest this 72.5 to 74.4 area over here, I would expect it to face some resistance. And support will come from this recent consolidation area over here, which is at 68.5 to about 70.5 area. Okay, next one is for VIX. I think for VIX, is trending down for currently. So I think we could possibly see a retest of these recent lows, close to about 14.5 to about 15.5 area over here, then before a bit of a rebound. But overall, it's sort of just a bit of a consolidation range bound type of movement for the VIX. Okay, then next one is for copper. So for copper, I would say it's a bit more of a sideways currently as well. Price is a bit of a positive is that price is holding above this 4.24 resistance level. If it can act as support, then it might be positive for price to move upwards. But also there's some near-term resistance ahead from this previous breakdown at 4.43 to about 4.53. So I would still expect copper to move slightly range bound going ahead. So that's for the indices and commodities. Next up, I'll talk about sectors. Starting off with FAANGM. Okay, first I'll talk about is Meta. I think Meta's momentum is still last week is still very strong. So last week over here managed to break above this resistance at 526 over here. So that's a sign of strength. And afterwards it made a little bit it sideways a little bit at this resistance of 543 and afterwards made a new high. Made a new high afterwards. So with that, I think momentum still remains very strong. We're likely to still see some this momentum carry on at the start of this week, I think. So that's for Meta, one of the more bullish stocks in the FAANGM right now. Next one is Amazon. So Amazon, I think, is also quite bullish as well. Price has been consolidating at this resistance area of around $189. Then I think with this bullish close on Friday, I think it still remains there still remains some strength over here. So I would still expect price to move higher to retest the next resistance area at 195, 196, which was this previous breakdown area over here. And afterwards it's $199 to $200. And so Amazon, I think, is still looking quite bullish as well over here currently. Okay, Apple also did a recovery over here. Price, there was this gap down over here start of the week, but then price actually we see this recovery back above this support level 217. And afterwards, it just have these gap ups along the way to clear the resistance at 224 over here to retest the resistance at 232, 233. So I think with that, for now we could see a bit of some sideways consolidation at this resistance. I would expect support to come in at the higher low level at least around 224, 225 for the time being over here. And then you can break above this resistance at 233 afterwards, likely to retest his highs and this is at 200, 230, around 237 next year. So for Apple, maybe a bit of a consolidation for the time being. Okay, for Netflix, I think still some consolidation at the resistance over here. Yeah, so you're testing the resistance at 708. But I think it's still more towards the bullish side because since the breakout of this consolidation area over here, the resistance at 685, price has remained above it. So over here, it's still a bit of a higher lows. You can see higher lows being formed. So if there's some bullish trend, there's some bullish channel that tries to attempt the next breakout, I think it could succeed after so many tests of resistance. Then afterwards, then it could trend higher afterwards. Yeah. So for now, maybe a bit of consolidation first, still awaiting for any bullish signals or any possible breakout ahead. Then for Google, I think is also some rebound currently. Price managed to recover back above this 159, this level over here, which was a prior support breakout. So in the near term, I think it is likely to retest some near-term higher resistances again. First level would be this consolidation breakdown here at 164. That's one level of resistance. Next one will be this next swing high at 168. So for now, maybe it's a bit of a consolidation as it approaches these two resistance level. It could just do a bit of a sideways, yeah, for Alphabet. And last but not least is Microsoft. Okay, for Microsoft, I think still last week still a bit of a sideways, but managed to after it cleared this resistance at 426 over here. So I think for now maybe some consolidation. I think it's still more towards the bullish side as long as it continues to hold above this 426 level. It could go on to test the next resistance. Is at around 447 next for Microsoft. Yeah, and then afterwards around 450, 456 about there. I think in general for the FAANGM, they are still looking good. Some of them in a bit of a consolidation. Then if you can break ahead, then we could expect some bullish continuation. Yeah, but in general, I think most of the stocks are still looking quite bullish. Okay, then next sector I'll talk about is the banking sector. So first up, I'll start with the XLF, the Spider Financials sector fund. So looking at this, last week it was a recovery over here. So good thing that price managed to hold this previous resistance as support and continue to bounce off it. So currently is doing a retest of the resistance at around 45. So over here we might see some consolidation. If price can continue to hold this support, recent support at around $45, which was also this a bit of a resistance that it broke out from, it's still more towards the bullish side. So for now, maybe some consolidation. Then if you can break above the resistance, I think we'll let you see the bullish momentum continue. So first US bank I'm going to talk about is the JP Morgan. So for JP Morgan, I think is holding this key support level over here in blue. So this has been a key important trendline support where price has bounced from where it did a retracement. Currently, price is still holding over here and bouncing off. I think still holding as support. So I will expect price to do a further rebound ahead towards the next resistance area, which is currently around 214 to about 218 area for the time being over here. Yeah. So that's for JP Morgan. Next one is Bank of America. So Bank of America also looking better currently. So price at first initially there was a breakdown of this $40 level here. Price did a consolidation. Then towards the end of the week, Thursday, there was this managed to go above this breakdown level over here. So I think as long as price can stay above this 39.80 level over here, still more towards the bullish side, then you can break above if you can break above the highs at $41 of last week. I think it's still more towards the positive side to possibly retest the higher levels like 41.70 to about 42.50 area next for Bank of America. Okay, next one is Citigroup. Citigroup also saw some recovery last week. Yeah, above this breakdown level of $60, price recovered, especially on Thursday, then to retest this high 62.80 there. A bit of a pullback, but I think if you can hold similar thing, if you can hold above $60 over here to form the higher low above this key level, I think if you can then it's still looking more positive. If you can break above this $63 level, then it could trend towards the next resistance closer to $65.30, then followed by 67 next. Okay, then last but not least is Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, I think, is also looking good after this double bottom over here at $50.40. Price has begun a recovery in progress. Start of last week, managed to break above this $54 level over here, this breakdown. And then currently is entering to the next resistance area between about 56 to 57.50 area over here. Yeah. So I think for Wells Fargo, I will expect some resistance ahead, closer to 58 as well, because previously is near this swing high, 58.50. Also, possibly there's this downwards resistance line also as well. So a bit of a confluence of resistance ahead. So I think over here, price action might be a bit choppy where it could just go upwards and consolidate sideways thereafter. Yeah, so in general for the bank, I think some recovery last week. If they can hold above the recent key levels that broke above there, I think it's still looking more towards the bullish side. Okay, then next one is on the semicon sector. So first I'll start with the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, SOX. So for SOX, last week was did a retest of this breakdown level over here, which was at around 5,100. Previous support, now I think it's a bit of resistance. But I think now the key is to see whether it can form, looks like a bit of a consolidation over here for the time being, 4,850 to 5,100. But if it can continue to form this higher low support, then I think there's still a possibility that price will hit higher to break above this resistance, to trend, to retest this 5,300 resistance next. Yeah, so that's for stocks, a bit of a consolidation possibly for the time being. The key is to see whether it can hold this support recently. Then next one, I'll talk about NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA, I think nothing too much for now. Still quite sideways. So it's doing a consolidation, a bit of resistance at close to 120. Support is coming in at about 113, 114. So I think for now, to see whether it can break above the resistance of 120, the next resistance level it could go is 123, 184, which was this previous range support breakdown level, then followed by 130. And if it breaks below the lows of last week, it could hit a bit lower to retest a lower support level over here, which was about $108, $109. Yeah, so I think for now it's still stuck in a bit of a range over here where there's some near-term resistance or near-term support. So I would think still quite sideways ahead for NVIDIA. The next one is AMD. AMD, I think, is looking one of the better one. So AMD's price action, I would say, is better because uh, start of last week, at first it faced the resistance from this previous breakdown level at 154. Then we see some slight pullback. Afterwards, it did a gap up over here, holding. Then Thursday and Friday it held above this highs over here at 100. This was around 153. So if they continue to hold above this swing high as a support, it's still looking more positive. Then I would think that it could go higher to retest this next swing high around 162, and followed by next resistance at 170 about that. So for AMD, I think looking more bullish compared to NVIDIA for the time being. Okay, next one is on TSM. I think TSM chart is quite good as well. TSM chart is doing a consolidation over here. And possibly it's a bit of an inverse head and shoulder, possibly. Let me just draw it out. Over here. So it's been testing the resistance at 175 multiple times. And over here, we might be in the right shoulder of this pattern over here. So I think if we can hold this recent resistance at 170 as a support, or it forms a bullish candle to break above this 175 area, I think it's positive. And I will expect price to trend higher to the next resistance at 183, 184 over here, which was a previous support breakdown level. Okay, next one is on Micron. Okay, Micron, I think interesting as well, because for me, I think it's currently it formed double bottom at $85 over here. And price is actually doing a bit of a consolidation range, some resistance at closer to $91 currently. But I think if price can break above it, then I think we could see some recovery to retest the next resistance at $98 here. Yeah. So maybe perhaps some recovery for Micron if price can break above the resistance. And then next resistance is about 103 to 105 area. The next one is Marvell. So for Marvell, I would say nothing too much, still quite sideways over here. And it's still holding above this previous resistance at $71 about there. So I think the key is to see whether price can break above this $76 high. Then it could go on to retest this swing high closer to $79 over here. If not, I think it's just probably continue to just trade consolidate sideways for the time being. Okay, then for Broadcom is also looking positive as well. So Broadcom, another test of the resistance at around $171, $172. And price has been holding a higher low support at this prior resistance at $161. So if can price break above this 167, 172 resistance, I think it's likely we see price go higher to retest the next resistance level at 176, then followed by the next one is 182, 183. Okay, then last but not least, I think is Intel, which has been making a lot of headlines recently. So Intel, it's over here is basing out, is forming this consolidation range, multiple tests of the resistance at this is around $22. And then recently, a bit of a higher low. You can hold this higher low, around $21, and I think it's positive. You can break above this resistance today, then next resistance to look ahead, possibly around close to 2460. So 2460 going back was a previous this support over here. The next level could be around closer to 2750. Yeah, 2750. The next one will be this gap over here around closer to $28. So I think you can break. I think for now, given this high volume Friday, as well as the news, you can break above today's high and hold above it. I think it's more positive for price to do a bit of a recover, a bit of a rebound next to possibly fill this price gap over here for Intel. Yeah, so that's it for the semi-cons. I'll move on to the last sector, is the EVs. Oh. So for EVs, I'll talk about Tesla first. On Tesla, okay, I think Tesla is positive. Tesla, uh, it broke above this ascending triangle resistance. The resistance was at $235. Thursday, it broke above it. As long as price continue to remain above it, I think it will be towards the bullish side. Next resistance level, if you can break above, it will come at 256, $257, this area over here. Then followed by next one is around close to 267, 268. Yeah, so Tesla, as long as it can remain over this breakout, I think it's positive. The price could trend higher. The next one is Xpeng. So for Xpeng, I think it's trading in this channel over here. Yeah, price is still going upwards. As long as price is remaining above this $9 previous resistance over here, which it continue to break above it towards Thursday and Friday, I think it's positive. Could go on to retest the next resistance close to 1050 over here. And then above 1050, it's about possibly filling a price gap over here around 1180 about there. So for Xpeng is looking short-term bullish as well. Then for New, I think it's doing possibly a bull flag over here since price broke up above this downwards channel, just been consolidating currently. So yeah, still seeing whether it can break above the high of 570, then perhaps it will go on to test the next resistances ahead is around $6 to about 630 area over here. So that's for New, still consolidating in this flag over here. Then last but not least is Rivian. So Rivian, I think yeah, we saw a breakdown last Friday over here. So breakdown of the support at $13 to retest prior resistance at this $12. So I think for now we need to see whether some support comes in. But I think overall it could trend lower because since the highs over here, price has been coming down, breaking multiple supports along the way, forming lower highs, lower lows. So still more towards bearish bias. Could do some rebound, but I would expect some resistance to come in soon from this recent breakdown. And then price could slowly trend downwards. It's more towards the bearish side for Rivian. Okay, that's it for the sectors. Okay, I'll move on to the Q&A section. Okay, first up. Okay, hi, good evening, BY. On this ASML, CrowdStrike, and C Limited. Okay, for ASML, I think for now, the chart is still more towards the bearish side. Price is still trending downwards. Recently, it's trying to possibly hold a double bottom over here at 766. A bit of a sideways consolidation for the time being. Yeah, but I will still expect some resistance to come around the 855 area. So for now, looks like some consolidation. If price needs to build a higher low to actually try to trend higher. So still looking to see whether it can hold a higher low around 770 to about 790, this area over here. Then it could see some rebound. But for now, I think still it could just still do a bit of a range consolidation. And if it breaks below some of these lows, then we could see a retest of recent lows close to 740, 750 again. Yeah, so I think for now, still nothing too much for ASML. CrowdStrike, I think is looking good. CrowdStrike, looking at the chart, so the key resistance previously over here was 283, 284, which was this prior key support level that turned into resistance over here on the first retest. Second retest also some pullback, but then on Friday we had this gap up where the opening price was above this resistance and price trended higher, about 8% higher. I think with that, we are likely to see CrowdStrike to move higher, likely to move higher in the near term to retest higher levels like uh, 300, around 310 is the next resistance level. Then we also have this next price gap over here. The next resistance will be around 335 about there. Yeah, so I think as long as it can hold above this 284 level, I think it's still more towards the bullish side currently for CrowdStrike. NSC Limited. Okay, for C Limited, I think it's bullish as well because um price has found support from retest of previous resistance at 76 over here and rebounded higher. Last week was quite bullish as it cleared this 8370 resistance and still finished the week quite well. So I think I will expect price to move higher in the near term. Need to retest this next resistance at around this is at around 88.40 about there. Then afterwards, the next resistance is at closer to about $94. So for I think near term wise, we could still see some upside ahead. The next question is IWM, Cruise, NANC, and AC. Okay, so I'll go through IWM first. IWM is the iShares Russell 2000 ETF. So for this, generally it's trading in this uptrend channel over here. I think for now it's a bit a bit of a resistance currently because over here it's close to about 223 to 228 area. There's some resistance. So possibly some slight pullback we could see in the short term, unless there's a bullish candle that comes in over here. But I think overall it should be uh more towards the bullish side because overall trend is still bullish, but possibly some near-term pullback. I will expect a higher low support at closer to this area at about 215 to 218 area, which was a prior resistance over here. Yeah. So I think maybe some slight pullback and then could go higher afterwards. For cruise is this series portfolios trust unusual wheels Republican trading ETF. Okay, interesting name. First time I came across this counter, but okay, looks like it's doing quite good. Okay, so for this, I think I would see this looks like an inverse head and shoulders pattern over here. Price. Yeah, so this is like a more towards a bullish kind of chart pattern. Price has been testing the resistance over here a few times at $31 and if you can continue to form a higher lows or build up over here, I think it's more towards the bullish side. We could still see price move higher. Okay, for the NANC is the Democratic Trading ETF. Okay, for this, I think it's a bit slightly weaker, but overall trend is still in an uptrend. For now, price has been is at this previous resistance area around $37. I think the key is to see whether it can remain there. If it can hold this area, I think we could still see a retest of this high at 37, around 37.60. Yeah. So the key is to see whether it can continue to hold this, especially this region between around 3630 to 37, this area, which was this range consolidation. You can hold this area, then it's more towards the bullish side, and you could possibly see it try to break higher highs. Okay, for ESA is the Global FTSE Southeast Asia ETF. Okay, for this is also bullish. Um, yeah, price is actually just has been consolidating a long while previously below $15 and then had a breakout afterwards. I would still think bullish trend is still very strong over here. So with that, I think we're still likely to see new highs ahead. Okay, hi Alan. Your counters Elf, Upstart, Net, New. For Elf Beauty, if Elf Beauty, I think it's possibly doing a trend is still downtrend. Price is doing a bit of a consolidation, a bit of a support coming from prior resistance at $111 about there. So I think for now, it likely still some range consolidation, but if price breaks below this level, we could see lower lows to come to test maybe like around 95, $96 support level next. Now, given that it's in this downtrend over here, so I think for now it's still looking towards like a range consolidation of resistance at around $120, $122. And for Upstart, yeah, Upstart, I think yeah, there was price initially there was a pullback over here, but sort of started to stabilize from a bit of a range over here. And then last week uh, broke above the short-term resistance over here at $38. So I think price can stay above this recent horizontal breakout level. We could see some further price recovery ahead to retest these highs at um around 44 to $45. Then maybe some side-based consolidation thereafter, given that it just come off this pullback. Okay, then for Cloudflare, when Cloudflare I think is overall is a very range bound counter. And a bit of a recovery recently, especially on Thursday where price broke above again this horizontal level $80. So this area has been just been flipping between resistance, support, and resistance, and possibly come back to as a support again. But our near-term resistance probably at 80, 84, $85 still holding over here. So I would still expect a bit of range bound price action going again, similar to what we saw over here. And then above that also there's resistance at $87 as well. So I think overall it's still quite range bound going ahead for this. Okay, hi, next one is on the GE Vernova and GE Healthcare. So for us, first up for GE, I think it's still we're still seeing bullish price action over here. It's a new all-time high as well. So yeah, after it managed to clear this key resistance area, 173 to 177 price broke out afterwards. So I think I would still expect new highs going ahead this kind of recent price action. For GE Vernova, it's still bullish as well. Price still trending well since breaking above this horizontal resistance at 203 over here. So I think yeah, still looking bullish for now. And for GE Healthcare has also started to be bullish, one of the laggards compared to the previous two. But last Wednesday managed to break above this resistance at $88 already. So with that likely to test next resistance area at 91.50 to about $94 area over here. Then we'll see a bit of a consolidation thereafter. Okay, the next one is on Celsius Holdings. Okay, for Celsius, I think the down is still in this downtrend over here. Price is just slightly consolidating for now. Finding likely to find resistance at these $36 levels breakdown. Support currently around 31.70 about it. So I would still think range consolidation for time being, but if it breaks these recent lows, we could still see lower lows to come. With the next key support around 27.50. Yeah, about there. Okay, then for Enphase, I think Enphase is still very much range bound over here. So whenever it comes above 120 to 128 over here, it turns out to be resistance. Then the key support is closer to 102 over here. So looks like a bit of a pullback for the time being. Some short-term support is first level of support is around 100, 809 over here, this area. Then if it fails, then you will likely go back to this key support 102. So I think it's still in this range consolidation for the time being. The next one is Salesforce. Okay, for Salesforce, I think I'm more towards the bullish side because looks like an inverse head and shoulders kind of pattern forming again. So key resistance still at this 266, 267 area. The key is to see whether price is able to hold it a bit of a higher low, especially at the 257 area. If you can hold or break above this resistance, then I'll think that after this range consolidation, price could move higher to go towards next resistance level at around 279, then followed by about 288 to 294 area. The next one is Palo Alto. Palo Alto, I think for now is quite range bound. Still can't get above this previous support term resistance at 347 over here. Then support still coming in currently at 333 this level. So quite range bound currently. Yeah, unless price can break above this high, then we could see price going towards 365 next. But for now, still just range bound. Then below 333, there's also some support at 322, 323 about there as well. So I think overall likely to be quite range bound for the time being. Okay, hi Melvin. Your counters Lulu, Nike, SoFi, Boeing, and UBS. And for Lululemon, I think even though price has broken out of this downward channel, price action wise is still facing resistance at 275 over here. Still no bullish signs yet. I think key is to see whether at least it holds this as a support or if it tries to form a higher low over here. So still, I would say for now, likelihood is that I would still think it's quite range bound, largely between two 246 to about this 275 area. Okay, then for Nike, Nike had this gap up on the news. But I would think that it could still have some sort of a resistance ahead because it could come from this downwards resistance line. There would be resistance close to $90 level, also a previous horizontal support. I think for now, after this gap up, we could see maybe some consolidation of a slight pullback. But support should come in if it does retest. First level of support is this previous high at 85. The next one, if it does come lower to, is to retest the 83, this gap over here. So maybe some bit of a sideways kind of moment. We see how the price goes after this big gap up over here. Okay, then for SoFi. Okay, SoFi, I think it's trying to be more bullish. Possible break of this 790 level. I think I will wait to see whether on a retest whether it holds a support over here. But with this inverse head and shoulders formation, I'm more towards the bullish side. Hopefully, it can hold this level. If it does, then I think we could see price rebound higher towards next level of resistance. For near term is around 910 to about 950 area. Yeah, for SoFi. So the key now is to see whether it holds this resistance breakout. And this one is on Boeing. So Boeing, I think for now is bearish because price broke down this 162 support level. Has been just trending downwards still. No, haven't seen signs of a bottom yet. So I think we could still see some downwards momentum. To maybe test the next support level about close to 147, 148 next. Okay, then for UBS, I think generally is quite range bound over here. But price could be forming a possible inverse head and shoulders since it has been testing the resistance quite a few times and at the resistance at 31 quite a few times. Could be in this right shoulder formation over here. So the key now is to see whether it can go up to test the resistance again. Then maybe form a consolidation afterwards. Yeah, but for now, I think likely to be still quite range bound. The next counters are on MSI and VBK. MSI Motorola Solution. For this, I think after a strong run, looks like it's price action is looking like it's doing a bit of a consolidation at the moment. So as long as it looks like between 430 to 450 at the moment. So as long as the support here is still holding, I think it's still okay. Still waiting. Just consolidate for a while, then we see whether it can try to break resistance again. Next one, VBK is the Vanguard Small Cap Growth ETF. Okay, so for this, I think it's looking more, it's quite range bound, but price has been so recently price has been forming a higher low, higher highs along the way as well. So slightly towards the bullish side. A retest of the resistance recently at 268. Maybe a bit of a pullback consolidation. It'll be bullish if let's say it tries to retest this breakout around 262 to 265, holding as a support. Then I think it's more towards the bullish side where price could break above the 268 level to trade higher. So afterwards, after 268, next key resistance is probably around 280 level over here. next for this VBK. Okay, next counters are Adobe, um, Mastercard, Visa, and PayPal. So Adobe, I think I think it's probably in this range bound, large range bound between 505 to 580 for the time being. Because after this gap down, price went on to test this support level, still holding as a support. So I would expect price maybe just kind of sideways for the time being, some resistance about at 540. Yeah. Okay, then for Mastercard is still bullish. Perhaps just holding along this upward support line, and then recent price action looks like a breakout of 488, doing a retest. So as long as this key area is still holding as support, I think we could still see the uptrend continue for Mastercard, and possibly trading in this channel for the time being. Okay, for Visa, Visa also probably we tested the resistance at 290. This over here, a bit of a pullback. I think as long as price could do a bit of a consolidation for the time being. I think as long as price is still holding above this around 280 level, this keys resistance previously as a support. Over here we have these swing lows as well. Then I think it's still more towards the bullish side. Maybe a bit of a consolidation for the time being. And for PayPal, PayPal is I think is slowly going upward, but with expected with some with some resistance along the way. Okay, so looking at the recent price action, it looks like a range consolidation breakout, especially on Thursday after clear the resistance at 74. But near term wise, still some resistance ahead, which was this previous area over here at 77 to 79. So maybe still some bit of a consolidation going on. Afterwards, then we the next result at 85 then 88. Yeah, so likely to be still quite going upwards bit by bit perhaps. Okay, next one is on TLT, Estee Lauder HSY. So TLT, okay, TLT look yeah, still look bullish. Possibly a retest of this prior resistance level at 99. Okay, I think overall still yeah, currently a bit of a pullback. So I think we still seeing where's the current support. 99 over here is the first level support. See whether I can find any bullish candle coming to hold it. Then if it goes a bit of a deeper pullback, we'll see. I think we're likely to see maybe here 96.50 to hold as a support. Really, given that this was this range consolidation area previously. Yeah, so maybe a bit of slight pullback for the time being, but I think bigger picture wise, it's still in this good uptrend over here. Okay, the next one is for Estee Lauder. Okay, Estee Lauder still looks very, I think lower support levels next is around 83, then $81. Then looking at the current price action, yeah, still bearish because the support over here is around 85, but price did a smaller rebound this time and face resistance at this breakdown area at U at 1. So looking more towards the bearish side over here, especially given it's the long-term downtrend as well. Okay, then Hershey, HSY. Hershey, and for Hershey, I think for now it's still kept in this big range bound over here between like 178 to 205. So some pullback for now, but I expect just maybe another consolidation in this range. Maybe first level of support is from this 195 level, but have yet to see a bullish confirmation. Then next one is around 190 about there. So I will expect still quite a range one kind of movement currently for Hershey. Okay, then there's a question. How come at 11 a.m. some Mondays also have the same really updates? Okay, on the 11 a.m. is the research morning call. So over there also there's also the fundamental analysis also fundamental analysis content as well. Then I'll go through some technicals over there also. But I will focus more towards the Singapore and Hong Kong over there. Then the at night session is on the US. And then if time permits, I will go through the other countries TA as well. Okay, hi sharing your counters. Dell SMCI CrowdStrike. Okay, for Dell I think it's still more towards the bullish side since prices move up and then it's still holding actually it cleared the resistance over here 115 and it's holding over here. So as long as price still maintaining this as a support, I think still more bullish for price to hit higher. Could test the next resistance over here, this area between 125 to 128 next. Yeah, if that's the case. Okay, for SMCI, I think for now, still it looks like a bit of a range bound going on. Price was did a double bottom at 394, then rebound and just held in the tight range over here. So I think it's just slightly gonna be consolidating for now. Key resistance ahead will be this $485 level, which was the opening price of this huge volume gap down over here. The next one is on Teladoc and GameStop. So for Teladoc, some rebound recently, a breakout from this range, and then went to this gap up over here to retest this prior higher range consolidation previously. So I will still expect resistance to come in over here. Looks like some resistance at about 950, 960. So some a bit of a pullback towards the end of the week. But for now, short-term support, I would think it's around close to about 820 to about 840 area, this resistance. So yeah, so see whether I can get support over here. Okay, for GameStop, I think it's still range bound. Price a bit of rebound from around the support zone over here at around $19. Short-term resistance wise, I think it's around 22, around close to 23, then followed by about 24.50. So I think overall still likely to be quite range bound for the time being for GameStop. Okay, then some of the crypto related names. First one is Marathon Holdings. So Mara currently, I think it's looking like a bit of a range one going on. A bit of a double bottom at 1370. Resistance is for now about 1750 to $19 area. So I still think it's quite range bound for the time being. Okay, then for Riot, okay, Riot is looking a bit the chart is not as strong as Mara. It's still below the support breakdown level at 780. Price is also doing a bit of consolidation. So I think that will still continue for the time being. With this 780 as a this current resistance. And then next one is Hive Digital Technologies. Okay, Hive, a bit of some rebound after testing this support at 260, a bit of a consolidation for the time being as well. I will expect this to kind of continue. Some near-term resistance will be at around 340 to 365 area over here. Yep. The next one is on next one is Bit Mining Limited. For Bit Mining, Limited, currently looks like a still range bound as well, still holding support at 190. Then resistance is at this 260 level. So I think still likely to be quite range bound for the time. And next one is Bit Digital. Okay, for Bit Digital, yeah, also quite similar price is holding support to around 250, some rebound over here, but likelihood is some resistance in there to around 340 area over here, then followed by around 380. So overall, I think all the crypto related companies kind of have similar charts, bit of a range, kind of range bound pair of charts. Okay, hi James. Next one your counters are waste management, LVMUY, and LNR. Okay, for waste management, I think for the time being, looks like a range, a bit of a range bound still. The key support still at around 198. Their resistance is 210. So I would expect this to just consolidate in the range bound for the time being still. Then for this LVMH, LVMH, I think it's still quite weak. The overall downtrend over here, then recently it's just consolidating at this support of 134. So for now, it looks like it's still likely some consolidation but it's likely to happen. Resistance at 130, around 138 and 142 things. Yeah. Then if it breaks below these recent levels, I think it would still hit slightly lower towards around next support level around 126 to 130 over here. And then for NLR is the VanEck Uranium and Nuclear ETF. Okay, so for this chart, I think For now, it looks more positive. Even though it is downward trending pattern, it looks like a double bottom is formed around the $70 level. Currently, it's at the neckline over here, 78. As long as you can hold above this level, I think we could see some gradual rebound towards the resistance level next around this is at 83.50 to about 85.50 area. Yeah. The next one is on Ulta Beauty. And for Ulta Beauty, I think overall is quite likely to be quite range bound over here. Key resistance is still around 410 to 420. But recent price action is looking better. After this gap down over here, price recovered. A bit of sideways at the resistance. Broke above it, broke above the resistance at 380 and slow trend upwards. So I think for now, likely to be just some consolidation near this resistance between 410 to 420. Okay, then for CLOU, the Global Cloud Computing ETF, I think for this looks more towards the bullish kind of pattern, testing a resistance at $20.30 few times. Also another possible inverse head and shoulder formation over here. Yeah, so I think with that, if you can clear this resistance, $20 around 2030 to 2050, we could see some upside hit to test next levels like 2080, $20.80, and then afterwards is around 21.20. And then for silo technologies, okay, for this it looks like quite range bound. Price is likely to be just trading between around the $3 to 4.45 area. Over here last week, still finding resistance from this point. This was also prior resistance as prior support, turn into resistance as well. Yeah, so I think for now, maybe still a bit of a range bound taking place for the time being. Okay, then next one is on Teva Pharmaceuticals. So for Teva, I think price action wise, starting to look a bit weaker because over here retest of prior resistance support around 1740. But this rebound actually only rebound a lower high rebound and then it's come back again. So I think for now still there's some resistance at this previous breakdown level around 1840, 1850. So for now I think it's probably some range bound over here. But if it forms could be forming a trend of lower highs also. So if it breaks below this support, we could see some reversion below this 1740 level. So needs to see whether this support continues to hold over here. Okay, for Twilio, I think it's still a very range bound counter. It's back at the key resistance zone, 63 to 65. Over here could be still finding some resistance. The key is to see whether you can break above 65, then could possibly fill this gap over here to test 68 to 69. Yeah, but otherwise it's likely to be just still in this big range bound pattern. Okay, next one is Melco Resorts. Okay, Melco Resorts looks like start is basing out over here. We have a higher lows being formed over here is positive, then above the resistance at 570. So I think with that, we could see some rebound in the currently some resistance for now at $6, but it can clear, then it likely hit higher to the next one at around 640 to 690, this zone over here. Okay, the next one is flowers, uh 1800 flowers.com. Okay, for this, I think chart wise looks still bearish. Since the breakdown of the support A60 is still acting as a resistance, for now looks like a bit of range bound. I think we will just consolidate between 720 to 830 for the time being. The next one is Palo Alto Net and Fortinet. Okay, I'll go through Fortinet. The other two I covered earlier. And for Fortinet, I think uh it's still okay because still holding at above prior resistance of 70, 73, 74 level. It's just it's just going through a consolidation for the time being. So resistance here at around 78. We can break above. If we can break above that, I think um it's still possible to hit towards the next one at $81. Yeah, but for now it's likely to be still this consolidation. Okay, next one is On Holdings. Okay, for this On Holding, I think it's is starting to look better because breakout since the breakout of 43.40 retest held as a support. Afterwards, we have this higher high starting from break above the resistance at $48. So I think with that, uh, for now, like short-term bullish momentum, I think we could still see price gradually trend towards the next resistance, and this previous high was 55 around there. Okay, then next one is on ARM and Oracle. ARM, I think it's still a bit of a consolidation, range consolidation kind of movement for now, but um, I think still more towards the bullish bias as long as price is still holding above $135 over here, which is this resistance which we broke out of. So just some consolidation resistance is at around 153, this previous breakdown level. So I would still expect a bit of a consolidation kind of movement for the time being. Okay, then for Oracle is overall is a strong uptrend over here. Then recently price action wise, I would say it's kind of range bound. Price is just sort of sideways between currently 174, 160 to 174. Yeah, so I think for now we could expect a bit of a consolidation come after this gap up over here, and then price also did a big gap up, then some profit taking, then afterwards sort of sideways thereafter. Okay, it's about time close to 9:15. I'll end the session today. I think there's still a lot of questions. I think I see some long comments as well. Thank you for the effort. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to answer all your questions, but let me just stop sharing my screen now. I will share the survey link inside the chat, as well as the link to join the Poems 3 community group. Yeah, okay. I've dropped the survey link, the link for the survey form in the chat. Feel free to fill it up to leave any comments you have, so I can improve your experience further in the future. Also, do join our P3 community on TA if you haven't. You can download using the link over here. Then you can ask me any TA questions you have over there. Then I'll reply when I see it as well. And also feel free to join our Poems TA Telegram group as well. I'll post TA content over there. Yeah, so thank you for all your questions today. I think uh it was very good that see quite a lot of good questions coming in. And then thank you for attending today's session. Okay, I hope to see you all again in the next session. Yeah, and hope you all have a good trading week ahead, and do take note of some of the economic calendar events that could be coming, like FedSpeaks and PC, yeah, some of these um, events. Yeah, so I see you all again. Have a good night ahead. Bye bye. Thank you.